Welcome to Untold Extraordinary Stories. Today I have the pleasure, in the studio today we have my Aunt May. And this story is so unique and I just had to bring it to you. You really got to hear this story. It's really touched my heart. I know it will touch your heart as well. I mean, it's from Ghana to Lebanon, from Lebanon to France, from France to Senegal, from Senegal to Germany. So I never thought that this day will come, May, and I want to thank you for your courage and coming on camera and sharing this story with all of us. I think that the story should be heard. That's why I asked her to join us today in the studio. And this journey is something else. So just let me tell you a little bit of story with my grandfather. That's how all this happened. My grandfather, Frank Robertson, had the opportunity to go to Africa, to Ghana specifically, and to build the infrastructure in Ghana. So in doing so, he actually, of course, started a family over there. All right. And while I was there, as a result of that union, May, my Aunt May, my mom's sister, was born. And I was told as a little child that May had actually ran away from home when she was maybe 13, 14 years old. That was told to me. However, one day I was actually driving to work and I got a call. And I didn't recognize the number. I picked the number up. And when I picked up the phone, on the other line, it was a voice that I have not heard before, ever. And I mean, the accent was all over the place. I mean, it was like she speaks 5 different languages. So all these different languages was combined in the accents that I was hearing. So I couldn't figure out who it was. But she said, "This is your Aunt May." And I was so shocked. I was like, "Oh my God, May." And I was like, "Aunt May, where are you?" And then at that point, she put my grandfather on the phone. And he said to me, because I always asked, and I always remember as a little boy seeing photos of her, and I always wondered where she was, what she was like. Everyone in our family wondered what you were like and what was going on with you. But so anyway, so he said to me, he said, "We found her." And I was, "Grandpa, where are you?" And he's like, "I'm in Germany." And I was like, "What are you doing in Germany?" He said, "I found May in Germany." Okay. Now, what I want May to do, and she'll remember, I mean, you're very courageous to come on and actually talk about this. I mean, if I ask you anything that you don't want to answer, I know you won't answer it, okay? But there's some questions I want to ask you, or talk to you about some things that I had not asked you before, because I really want a first-time reaction, okay? You understand it, okay?
Yeah.
So, now, May's story is a little bit different than what was told to us as we were coming up. So, May, what I would like for you to do is to explain to me what happened, why you left, and where you went. Okay, so you can tell us a little bit about that. Okay?
Well, I was living with my daddy when I was small.
Uh-huh.
Everything was going practically good till my dad invited a lady to move in with us because she had nowhere to stay.
Okay.
And when this lady moved in was when the whole problem started. She started to hate me from the first day that she walked in that door. Although we were trying to give her a place to stay and to be good with her and everything. And as soon as she came in our life, Daddy started to change his way of attitude, being angry with me all the time. Because every time this lady would just complain, "I did this, I did that," or I mean, things that was not even true, and Daddy was always on her side because she would always put all the pressure that she has just for Daddy to be angry with me.
Okay. Tell me this, Mel, and that's just real quick, and I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No problem.
I want to know, and I'm sure they would want to know as well, when you were born, and your mom, okay, when you were born, your mom left.
Yeah.
How old were you when your mom left you and Grandpa, or my grandpa, her dad, together?
Well, when I was born, according to what I know from Daddy, because actually I got to know my mom like when I was like 12. When I was born, my mom gave birth to me, and what I know is when I was around like a month or 6 weeks, my daddy had to travel because he was helping in Ghana to build the roads and things like that. So my mom left me in the room because she was young. She was at that time 15 years old. So she wanted to go out and have fun and go clubbing and all that. So she left me in the room and locked the door. And when she went, her 1 day turned to 3 days. So I was in the room the whole time till our security downstairs hears the baby cry and stop, a baby cry and stop. So then he decided that I think Madame didn't take the baby with her. So then he broke the door and came inside and he picked me out of the room. So he and his wife, his name is Yakubu, he and his wife took care of me for the 2 weeks before my daddy came back. So when daddy came back, daddy decided to keep me. That he was going to take care of me. So what he was doing is that when he goes to work, at that time we didn't have all this kinderwagen and all this type of things. So daddy made a box and kept it at work. And then he made a basket. So when he's going to work, he puts me in the basket. And then he carries me to work with my food. And all the workers would help him to take care of me and things like that. So I practically grew up in All Afra. It's a company where my daddy was working at that time. So I grew up in this company where with all the workers, everybody taking care of me and everything. But when I was growing up, it came to a time that daddy couldn't take me on trips because I had to go to school. So then I had to go and stay with this auntie, and that is my mom's dad's sister.
So your mom's dad's sister. So your dad, my grandfather. So he took you to work with him, and the other co-workers helped. With taking care of you. That was great.
Every day.
And then so at that point, and then it was time for you to go to school. So when it's time for you to go to school, it's time for you to go to kindergarten, whatever age you were starting school there. So then you actually, at that point... That was
when my daddy looked for the assistance from my mother's friend because he had nobody there who had this type of, how do I say,
somebody who had a relationship with them.
A relationship.
Somebody you knew that was family. So then what happened then? So once you lived with her,
when she brought me to, that was crazy. This woman, the beginning, she was okay when I was small. But then her daughter and her kids moved in with us when I was around maybe 8. And when they moved in with us was when the whole terror started. I will be cleaning day and night. I cannot sleep. I cannot do anything. Anything I did was just beating and beating and beating. This woman could beat me like hell. And she would not beat me like how people spank on the ass. She put you on the table and whip you under your stomach with a cane.
And how old were you when this happened?
I was around 8.
Around 8 years old, so you was already in school.
7, it started, I think 2 years I was in this situation. And then when I was 9 years old, one day I told her I was going to school. Even the school, I could never make it to school because I'm working all night. And to go to school also, I have to walk. When I will get to school, school is closed. So I walk to school and I just come straight back home. I cannot learn anything because the schools are closed. And her grandkids were just the next street going to school. That they could even take me and drop me and bring me back, no. And in Africa, it's so hot that I had to go to school with no shoes. I was walking barefoot to school.
Wow.
And just imagine a light-skinned girl walking on the streets with barefoot. You spend half of the time just trying to look for shelter that you can, rest your feet, that you don't burn,
Now you were 9 years old then. So then after that, just tell me this. So at 9 years old, this took place then. At what point did you leave your aunt's house, your mom's sister's house?
I left my aunt's house around when I was, if I must really recollect, maybe 9 years old. I decided I wanted to go and stay with my daddy.
Okay, so you had the choices. You were able to go.
No, I didn't have the choice.
Oh, you
didn't? She said I should go to school. So what I did was to go to my daddy's house walking. I remember very well. It took me from 8 o'clock in the morning to midnight around 2 o'clock to walk from where I was living with my auntie to my daddy.
Okay, so you went back to Grandpa's house.
Yeah, I walked. So when I went to Grandpa's house, I knocked the door. He opened. And he was alone that time. We had not, this woman had not moved in with us.
Okay, okay.
So when I reached, I told Daddy everything, what was the problem, what I had, and. And Daddy goes like, okay, you stay here, you're not going anywhere.
Okay, so you stayed there with Grandpa.
Yeah.
When he stayed with Grandpa, then what happened was he got together with a lady a British lady, and her name was Penny.
Yeah.
And then when she got together with Penny, how did Penny treat you?
Well, Penny treated me very bad. This lady treated me very bad, but what I can say is that when maybe she had her own bad experience, as I know, but that has got nothing to do with me, because actually we welcomed her, we gave her shelter, she was sleeping on the streets, she had nowhere to go, you know. And Daddy, first of all, she moved in that she was just moving in like to rent the room, is what Daddy told me. And then after she started walking naked around the house all the time, started to doing a whole bunch of stuff, and even I was too young that I started to copy what she was doing. I would also just wear my panties and t-shirts and walk in the house.
So that was just
you know, I was just thinking it's normal, you know. I wanted to be friends with her, but she hated me just from the first day she saw me.
Okay, so then Grandpa eventually developed a relationship with this lady.
Yeah.
And then they had a son, of course, after a while. But before they had the son...
Well, before they had the son, I was no more in that house, because when I was 11 years old, she did all her best for Daddy to throw me on the streets.
So then, as we were told, was that you actually ran away from home and had gone to Lebanon, but that wasn't the case. So what happened was she kicks you out the house, and I mean, God forbid, I mean, that's unfortunate. So Grandpa listened to her and had you out on the street. So when you were kids, so now let's say you kicked out the house, you're out on the streets now. What did you do when you were out on the streets?
Well, when I was on the streets...
and what age was you? I'm sorry.
Well, I was 11 years old.
11 years old, out on the street in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what I am thinking is, she is thinking for me to put a bullet in her brain or to kill her, I will go to jail. I will just leave her on the streets. This is Africa. She will just die on the streets, and I don't have nothing to do with it. This is how I see what she was thinking.
Okay.
Okay. On the other hand, I was thinking, okay, I have a mother somewhere. I have to go to my mother.
Okay.
So I decided to look for my mother.
Okay.
So they said my mother was living in Tema. This is another town also in Ghana.
Okay.
I found my mother. When I came, she already had so many kids. I was the first daughter.
Okay.
She just sat me down one evening and she said, you know something? I cannot take care of you, because when Daddy sent me away, he was not giving me no child support. He was not helping me. He was not doing nothing. He was sending nothing. So when I came to my mom, she called me when I arrived in the afternoon, and then in the evening she sat down with me and she said, you know something? I have a lot of kids here, but if you want to stay here, then you have to work, so you can help me to take care of your sisters.
Okay.
Actually, I was thinking I've already been on the streets for like a year or something.
Wow. Okay.
I've made it, so another job for me to do again will not do me anything. And I was thinking what I was doing was actually right. Okay. Because if I could help her to take care of my sisters, I mean, my thinking was it's okay.
Okay, tell me something. I'm sorry for interrupting you. So you were out on the streets for a year. What did you do on the streets to survive for a whole year?
Don't ask me. I did everything. Carrying stuff for people. Sometimes 1 or 2 weeks I didn't take a shower. Begging people for food.
Okay, don't talk about that there. We can imagine
And,
that. That's okay.
How many times people wanted to rape me, but thank God there was always somebody to save me. And I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's a natural reaction. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then,
So
so you're on the streets. I mean, you did what you need to do to survive. You can only imagine what you had to do. I mean, that's that. So now you found your mom, and she
actually, when I found
her,
her, I was happy I found her. But when she gave me this, told me what I had to do, that was real bad. And she said, you know something, I'm gonna get you a job. So when the time is up, I'm gonna tell you what you're going to do. So I said, okay. So like 2 days later, I was sleeping in the night. I remember very well, it was like maybe 2. She came and she woke me up and she said, come with me, I have the job for you. And I said, but it's too late. And she said, come with me. When I went outside, inside the car, there was this man, he was like 60 years old. And she said, yeah, you go with him and sleep with him. And when you come tomorrow, I would explain to you. And I said, but this man is grown enough to be my daddy. And she goes like, no, this is the job I want you to do. And that he's going to pay good money. He's giving me $300 just to go to bed with you. Wow. Anyway, thank God that I didn't get no diseases or anything, because those days, I tell you, nobody knows what is condom or anything. Nobody was using condoms. Nobody was using nothing. So, I mean, I didn't even know what condom is, you know?
Yes.
So I had to also to be under, you know, this type of job to do it for her. And I was doing it for a long time, and I remember very well after like 6 months or 7 months, I became pregnant. Now when I became pregnant in this process, she took me in the morning to abort the baby, and in the evening she brings me a man to sleep with me. And when I said I'm not going to do it, do you know how she beat me up in that hotel? And then this Korean guy, in the end, understood what was going on. So he told my mother that you go. I'll sleep with her. So what this man did was that when my mom went, he told me that just come, I'll hold you and just sleep. I will not sleep with you. He asked me, you really took baby out today? I said, yes, I did that this morning. Because I was bleeding and everything. I had really pain. So he didn't do anything with me. I really thank God. And wherever this man is, I really thank him for this day. Because I don't know what would have happened to me this day. And then I was doing this thing for my mother all the time. She was getting the money. And then in the end of the day, there is a hotel in Ghana called Satellite Hotel. I am saying the name of this hotel because these people in the hotel, everybody knows this story, how my mother treated me in this hotel. I was locked up in a room in this hotel, and men would just come and sleep with me and go.
Okay, tell me this, May, how did this all end with your mom? How did this all end with your mom?
Well, it ended with my mom. I always tried to run away. I tried several times to run away from her. But she was like somehow a prostitute mafia boss. Wherever I run to, she always found me. I was the only half-caste girl that time in Ghana with green eyes. So when she was looking for me, she didn't need to say, oh, I'm looking for May. Have you seen that half-caste with green eyes? Somebody say, yeah, I saw her there, or I saw her there. Yeah, they call us half-caste. It means like a mixed race, something like that.
Okay.
So this is how she always found me. Till it came to the time of my ex-husband. Actually, it was like this, that I went with a friend to Togo. We went to Togo for like 3 days, and then we came back to Accra. So when we came back, I don't know how it happened or how Hussam saw me.
Hussam.
Yeah, but when I came back, this man came looking for me. And my mom goes like, you have to date this guy. He is one of the richest guy. He has a company, blah, 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 blah. This man even was also old enough to be my father.
And where was he from?
He's from Lebanon.
From Lebanon.
He's a Lebanese, yeah.
Okay.
So then my mom said, hey, you have to date him, because when you date him, my life will be better and your life will be better. And I'm thinking, what do you mean your life will be better? Yeah, he wants to buy us a house, he wants to take care of your sisters in school, then you don't have to do that for them anymore, and. And then I was thinking about it, I said, okay, if I would sleep with 3, 4, 5 men in a day, and if I would get somebody who I would just stay one time with and he'll do everything for the family, then I'm ready to do it. So then I decided to go and stay with this man. The first 3 months, he didn't touch me. He didn't do anything to me. He is fond of bringing prostitutes home. They will be like coaxing and doing a whole bunch of things together.
Now you married him. You actually married Hassan.
Yeah, I married him, but I didn't marry him straight. Okay. Married him like a year later.
You married him a year later?
Yeah, like a year later. Okay. Actually, if it was like this modern generation now, I wouldn't have married him.
Okay, no, I understand. Yeah,
you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Because the kids of today, you cannot push a 13 or a 14 or 15-year-old girl and say, go and marry. She will tell you, I'm going to report you.
How old were you when you married Hassan?
When I married Hussam, I was 14.
So you was 14, you married Hassan?
Yeah, no, even I break up something. Before I married Hussam, there is this black guy who told me he was going to help me. I could stay in his house. He can protect me from my mother. Yeah? And this guy kept me in his house. Okay, I had somewhere to stay. I had something to eat. But then he raped me and I became pregnant. And then I had my daughter. Now, after when I had my daughter, my mother said, go and give the child to the father. You have to take care of your sisters. And I said, but how can I take care of my sisters when I have my own child that I have to take care of? And she said, yeah, you can't take care of your child and take care of us. It's not possible. I mean, I have to listen to everything what this woman says.
So you did what she said. So
I always did what she said.
You allowed your daughter, the daughter you just had, live with the father. Live with the father, and then after that, that's when you got together with her son. You got together with her son for a whole year. You were with them. Then you guys got married after that. And then after that, then you had
I got my two daughters
by Hassan, right? Karina and Nina. By him. Okay, then after that, I'm assuming everything was kind of like okay, or how was your relationship like with Hassan?
It was nothing was okay, if I must put it this way.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, when you talk of marriage, marriage is full of happiness. I mean, it's full of everything. I mean, this marriage was no happiness. He goes and comes when he wants. He does what he wants. Bring women. Even when I go to club with him or something, we go out. He puts me at the bar. He will take a table, put a champagne. All the girls are touching him. You know, this is not marriage.
So Hassan was a very wealthy guy from Lebanon. Like he owned several businesses. And he was like 40 years older than you. Pretty much when you got together with him. So after you have the daughters, Karina and Nina, and then after that, like you said, it was no good times with him. They were all bad times, as you saw it. So then,
beating me up
and
all
how
the
did
time.
you get away from him?
Anything
What
I
did you
said.
do where you said that's the last straw, and then you left?
Well, actually, I planned it for maybe even from the first day I started with him. I planned how to go away. But then sometimes there will be always something that will keep me back. First of all, I tried several times to run away from him. I tried to go to this my evil mother. When I go to her, she will call him and say, she's here, come and pick her.
Okay,
so then he will take the plane from Nigeria, because we were living in Nigeria.
In Nigeria at the time,
so
his business was there.
Yeah, he will pick the plane from Nigeria, he will come and pick me, he will take me back home. 2-3 days is okay. He'll put money on the table, go shopping, do this. For him, it's like this. I'll beat you up till you're blue. The next morning, I give you credit cards. You can go and do shopping. You know,
so
send your mother money, and then for him, it's over. You know, it's just like a slave. You know, I buy you, I use you how I want. I do what I want to you. I give you a little gift, and then it's okay. This is how he was treating me.
Okay, so let me understand this then. So, Hassan, he took care of your mom, he took care of your sisters. In exchange for that, then you have to marry him and be with him. Right? So then, I know at one point, of course, you got away from Hassan. I know you said back
getting
and forth.
Away
so
from
how did you
him,
get away from him?
Well, getting away from him took me like 6-7 years.
6-7 years. What are some
Why?
of the things
Because this 6-7 years, I started to save money on my own.
Okay.
And I had this, I was speaking to one French guy one time in the supermarket. I went to the supermarket when my eyes was red, my face was all bleeding. If you can see all these holes in my face, this is all from cigarette burns from him. Because when he's angry, he would just burn me with a cigarette, he would hit me with a whiskey bottle. He drinks a lot also. So then I saw this French guy, a young guy who was that time at my age, and he asked me what was wrong with me. And then I told him that there was nothing. But then when I said nothing, I started to cry. So then after the shopping, he followed me and he asked me that, hey, what's wrong with you? And I said, you know something, my husband beats me up. And he asked me, do you have kids with him? And I said, yes, he's a Lebanese. And then he was like, all Lebanese people. And I said, anyway, what can I do? I have to stay there. So then the guy said, hey, don't you have any contact anywhere where you can go? And I said, I don't have no contact, but me and my husband used to travel a lot. We go to France, we go to Italy, we go to all that. And we are all registered in the embassies. So the good thing that I could, and then he said, okay, I am from France. So why don't you see if you can get a French visa and go to France? You know, that made me started to think, this is a good way that maybe I could get away. Because if I should go to Ghana, he would just come and find me again.
But at this point, you guys were in Nigeria? Or
no,
in
this time we've
Senegal?
left Nigeria. We are in Senegal
You're
now.
in Senegal
Right
at
now
this
we are in
point.
Senegal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So then, when I did everything, the boy was also leaving to France. Actually, just to have a company to go together. So he said, you know something, I'm working, but I can take a week off and I can go with you up to French airport because my parents live in, so his parents live somewhere else. And then I was like, okay, at least even if I have somebody to go with me, because those days when I go with Hussam, we drop at the airport, a car will pick us and take us. When I want to go shopping, the driver takes me shopping, bring me back. I mean, too much walking around, I was not. Okay, so what I did was, I did everything, and the day I went to the embassy, I was so afraid that the embassy would call him and say that, can she go on holiday or something? But then I walked in the embassy, I had saved $10,000, and I said, I'm going on shopping, and they know that my husband is a wealthy man, he has business and all. So it was easy for me to get visa, so I got my 3 months visa to go to Europe. So when I got to France, I went to Nice because he has a house there, and I went to stay there. So I was in the house just for a week.
So you went to the house that he owned in France?
Yeah, he owns it in France. Yeah, I went there because I took the spare key with me.
Yes.
So I went and I opened the house, the neighbors, everybody knows me. So I moved inside the house. And like 5 days later, the neighbor came to me, and then she goes like, her name is Mrs. Sharani. She came to me and she goes like, hey, your husband called. He asked me if you are here. But when I arrived, I went to the lady and I told her everything, and she was like, you have to leave this place. He would find you. And I said, well, I need to rest a bit to think what I want to do. I don't know nobody anywhere. So 5 days later, Hussam called her. So when Hussam called her, the lady was already prepared. Normally, she's a Lebanese. She was supposed to tell him she's here, She didn't do it because she knows the whole problems that I'm having with him. So what she did was, when he called her after she came to me and she said, you know something, he's coming tomorrow, so you have to leave. You have to see where you will go. And then I was like, but where am I going? I don't have nowhere to go. And she goes like, but you have to go, because if you stay here and if he comes, I don't want to listen always this noise, in my house, he's beating you and all these things. I don't like it. And then I said, okay. And he said, you know something, I am even sure that he's even already in France. So just leave. So I just went inside, I just had a rucksack, I took my stuff, and then I just went to the train station.
So when you went to the train station, did you think about where you're going? And one thing we want to point out, although Hassan is Lebanese, right?
Yeah.
We're not saying that all Lebanese are like Hassan. I mean, you have good and bad people in every race, every nationality. So it's nothing against Lebanese or anything like that. I mean, she was married to him. He's from Lebanon. This just happened to be, a real bad guy, as you're hearing right now. So now let's say you at the train station now. So you're leaving the train station, and where are you going?
No, I came to the train station, and I was standing there for like 10 minutes or maybe more. I mean, maybe even it could be an hour. I cannot say it, because I remember going up and down the whole time. And I was looking at all the boards, and I see no train or nothing is going now, anything. So then I just went to the shelter, to the information, and then I asked the guy that, when is the next train? And he goes like, to where? And I go like, I don't care, anywhere. When is the next train? And he goes like, yeah, there's a train going to Germany in 30 minutes. And I said, okay, so then I buy a ticket for Germany.
I want to ask you something. Have you ever been to Germany before, prior to?
No.
So this is your first time going to Germany?
I don't know nobody in Germany. I didn't know anything in Germany.
You said, I'm going to just go. Wherever I'm going is better than where I am right now. Yeah, that right there. That's a lot of courage there. So go ahead. So what happened when you got to Germany?
Well, when I got to Germany, it was in summer. So there was this summer fest, that they have in Germany in Bodensee. It's like people come and sing, all different people, and people build tents and things. And then this is where I landed with the train. Normally, I didn't know where I was going, but the ticket I bought makes me always to change after every I changed my train 3 times.
To get to Germany.
To get to
and
Germany.
I want to ask you something also. So, you're going to Germany. Not only do you not know where you're going, did you speak German at the time?
No, not even one word. That was the funny thing. Now, when I got there, I used to hear everybody saying Scheisse, and I always say Scheisse because I thought it was like good morning. So one day somebody told me that Scheisse means, you know.
Stranger?
No, it means like fuck you or something.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so you got there.
Yeah, so I got there.
It was summertime, so in Germany, everybody knows Germany has been a very, very cold place.
Yeah.
They have summers, right?
Yeah,
so
they
real
have
summer. So
yeah.
it was hot there, and they had a festival going on,
Yeah.
a jazz festival or something like that was
Yeah.
taking place. Okay, so when you got there, what did you do while you were there?
When I got there, I spent like 2 days on this fest thing, and when I got there, I spent 2 days. The 3rd day, there was this girl I met. It was a black girl. Now, this girl I met, I knew her from Tema, from my mother's place.
Wow.
Yeah, from my mother's place. No.
No?
I mean, yes and no. Why?
Okay.
Because I'll tell you the yes and I'll tell you the no.
Tell me.
First of all, the yes is I was happy I saw her. At least one face that I knew.
Yes.
So then she told me that, okay, you can visit me, but not to stay with me. Because she had also just come to Germany and she's living with one old man. So when I visited them, because she cannot speak good English and all that, the white man had interest of having conversations with me, but he was not like having interest in me. Okay. Just like, you know, somebody really to talk to. Because his girlfriend couldn't speak that good English. You know, she was illiterate.
His girlfriend was the
His girlfriend was the girl I met. Yeah, the girl I met on the street. The girl I met.
Yeah, the one you had known.
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't speak English.
Yeah. So after 2-3 days, me visiting them off and on, she told me I shouldn't come to her house again.
Okay.
Because her husband was talking to me too much.
Husband or boyfriend? Was it the boyfriend?
No, husband. Because the guy married her in Ghana and brought her. Other than that, she wouldn't have come to Germany.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So she threw me out. So then in the evening, I went out, and then I happened to meet my last daughter's father.
Okay. So
well, I met him in the club in the evening. We had a talk a little bit. Actually, it was just a coincidence that I stepped on his feet more than 5 times that day in the evening, which without me knowing I was stepping on his feet.
Were you drinking?
I don't think so. Maybe a little. Maybe a little. Yeah, I'm sure I was drinking a little. And those days we had all these shoes with this big sole. So when you step on somebody, you don't even feel it. You know, you just.
You don't feel it, but they feel it.
You know, around. This thing 99, I don't know if you know, in 99 we had all these lady shoes with the big sole that is now there.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, it looks like a plateau, you know, you wear these shoes and you can step on somebody's leg, you don't even know it. You know?
I want to ask you something, and freeze right there. What were you thinking, because you know that we were here in America, you had a whole family in America, and all these things were going on with you there, and you could not maybe call grandpa or somehow try to reach out to us. What was told to you? I'm sure you probably did try to reach out to